So tell me about that. I saw you were speaking at, I don't know what the event was, but you were talking about Elon. What's going on with Elon? What why Elon Musk?
That's a really good question. There's a couple reasons Elon Musk. Number one, he's not affiliated with the government. I can't sit around and wait for the government to take care of its problems, so I'm going to reach straight to the top. He's the richest man in the world. He's probably one of the most intelligent men in the world, debatably. And if he's not the most intelligent, he has access to the most intelligent. I need help with that
True.
artificial intelligence. We need that human-centered artificial intelligence, and he has all the capability in the world to help me. This problem that we're dealing with the child sexual abuse material and the human trafficking online is
Yeah.
so wild and so big. I needed to go straight to the top. If Elon can't help me, at least I'll try to find someone else that can. But I will go straight to the top. And also, I need to find someone that big tech would fear. I need to find someone that when abusers and pedos and these traffickers hear the name Elon Musk is working on this problem, I want them to be like, dang, this is no joke. So yeah, I
Yeah.
went straight to the top. As far as me speaking at the Tesla event, that was an event with Miles Through Time. They're a car museum, and Tesla they did the longest electric parade. We beat China by a long shot, and it was the longest electric car parade. And we raised money for our rescue. They serve survivors in the United States and around the world, predominantly children
Yeah.
internationally. They do an amazing job. Tim Ballard's like goat. Um, and we raised $10,000 for them in the middle of a global pandemic. So once I saw the Tesla community rallying behind just me as a person and other survivors and really wanting to get involved, I sort of ran with it. And I also had a couple opportunities just with different journalists to sort of get the message out to Elon Musk because I had no real direct contact.
Yeah. 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 Elon Musk is, he keeps coming out with things that he seems to have like a good heart as far as trying to help humanity. Like even today, he just tweeted out that he's going to give $100 million to the person who comes up with the best carbon. I don't remember exactly what the term is, but basically like some sort of carbon catch to help curb the amount of carbon that is being pushed into the air, which is cool. It's clearly he sees that that's a problem, and clearly this is a problem with human society right now. Oh, I probably for all time, and we're living in an era where the internet is become such a prominent part of things. And you mentioned actually there was a new law that I don't know if it was 2018. You said that basically is specifically for trafficked victims from being online, which is a great thing that these things are being put into place. I'll be honest though, I am a little nervous at this whole new administration because it feels like they're trying to backtrack and change the way things are. He did a statement yesterday about how children need to be able to understand that they can go into any bathroom if they feel, and I'm not knocking the anyone who has it, whatever they feel their gender is, but the way that they're going about it, it feels like they're trying to normalize things that shouldn't be normalized. Um, and I'm trying to figure out how to sum this up very, very neatly because it's a messy subject, and I think it coincides a lot with what we're talking about, um, and it goes back to kind of the people that fall into it in the modeling industry promised to be a big star and promised big things so that they do things because they think it's going to help them get there when in reality it's just them being manipulated. And that's the core of it. It's young kids being manipulated into things that they shouldn't be manipulated, and it's child abuse, and it's wrong on many levels. And I see a lot of it being an issue with the way this new movement is, because they don't understand the damage it's doing to a young child's mind. And I fear for that. I fear for that.
Well,
I don't
Adam,
know
we don't
how you
know
feel about
quite
that.
yet. Adam, we're only one day into the new administration, so let's give them some time.
True. Yeah,
And
of course.
as far as that, yeah, so as far as those things go, I'll say this.
Mhm.
We've been adapting as a movement to pedophiles, traffickers, and predators for a very long time. And we will
Yeah.
adapt to a move, we'll adapt to, with the movement under this new administration. Whatever's thrown our way, whatever comes and goes, we will continue to adapt because the children and those that are being trafficked for labor and sex deserve it. So we will adapt. I've seen some things this year in 2020, pardon me, in 2020, I never thought I'd see. The use of
Like
deepfake technology to recreate sexual assault to be it's called Girls Do Porn. There's a case called Girls Do Porn, using deepfake technology to recreate sexual assault. I never thought I'd see this. This is a new form of tracking. So we adapt and we get smarter, but we have to have more passion and more fire than the traffickers and predators and pedophiles, all of them.
wow.
Have more passion. That's it. We have to put more into it. So regardless of whatever happens during a Joe Biden administration, Biden Harris administration, we will adapt. We've been adapting
Yeah.
for years, and we will continue to do so.
Wow. So what's next for
I'm
you?
not waiting for the government, Adam. Adam, I'm not waiting for the government to handle this problem. I'm
Yeah,
not.
you mentioned that, and it makes
So
sense.
what is it? I mean,
Yeah. So what's next for you? What's your what's your goal near and far? Obviously, to end all trafficking would be the end game goal, but what's next for Eliza?
well, John Doe's case is really important. It was the touchstone of everything that I plan on working on over the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Under no circumstances do I plan on John Doe's case falling on deaf ears. Many, many, many people read that story today, and John Doe is one amongst many. So, what I plan on doing for the rest of the year is flying behind enemy lines and reminding Twitter every single day that they're refusing to remove the child sexual abuse material. In my personal life, I work with survivors full time as an advocate. I'm also working with the Epstein survivors, with Victims Refuse Silence. We have a new website coming out very, very soon. I just spoke to Teresa J. Helm. She's one of the public Epstein survivors today. We are very excited about this new website. And personally, I'm just going to keep giving interviews. I have some other fun things planned as well, but we'll see. This is still new to me. I'm, of course, building my locals community. That's
Yeah.
and Adam's on locals as well.
I actually have your locals right here to pop it up to let everyone know. You can actually go help support Eliza. Go join her locals community. It's very easy to get in touch with her, and even my locals community. You can pop into mine, adamcastirl.locals.com. You can come join and communicate. I have a post right now, just like, what would you like me to ask Eliza while she's on the show, and you can help support her, and see, ask her more directly as far as what you can do to help, because if anyone's going to know, it's definitely her. This is her life's work, and it feels like you've taken a hard thing that you've been through, and you've forged yourself to be a weapon to fight against these people that are out there, and it's really good to see that you weren't defeated. And I respect that a lot in people. I feel like that's the true human spirit, is being able to go through the fire and come out stronger. So good for you.
Well, I don't know. We've never talked about this because we really haven't talked before tonight, just
True.
briefly on Twitter and in
Yeah.
locals. But Jordan B. Peterson had a big hand in my journey
Yeah.
before and same with the IDW, just the intellectual dark web. Just once I started listening to podcasting actually had a big hand in my journey. Before I started paying attention to the podcast space, I was
Hmm.
really sort of trapped in this victim mentality where I couldn't get over what happened, and I felt like everything was everybody else's fault. Once I
Yep.
started listening to long form podcasts, it helped me reshift my focus, and I started taking a lot more personal responsibility, and that's when things got a lot better for me. So I wasn't always
Yes.
kind of in the space that I am now, I was really like in this really, it actually was really sad. I was on the brink of suicide, to be honest. Um, but by the grace of God, that didn't happen. And so it's been really amazing. But I owe a lot to the podcast space. And one other thing that I always let folks know, and I don't really get an opportunity to say this much in interviews, but when I'm triggered, and I hate that word triggered, but when I'm triggered or upset about something, I turn on a long form podcast and I think of it as changing the channel in my brain.
Hmm.
So if I'm triggered, I'm obsessed with something, I'm thinking so much about the past, I turn on a long form podcast or a show like yours, and I can really refocus and reshift where my brain is at and think
Yeah.
about what the folks in the podcast are talking about. So that's one thing that's been really, really helpful and healing for me
Yeah.
along my journey, and I'm really grateful for that.